I Can Articulate is designed to guide students to success by encouraging mastery of sounds in the increasingly complex levels of words, sentences, and stories. When a student demonstrates proficiency of sound production at word level, he or she may progress to sentence level and finally to stories. This video will focus on the stories activity. The grading features described in this video are available in instructor mode only. Practice mode does not offer assessment. The student may record the target story by clicking the orange record button at the bottom left of the screen and saying the presented story. Kate got a new dollhouse. It looks like a castle. She likes to set the king in the chair. The cat naps on the bed. Kate can set the table. She puts corn and carrots on the plates. Kate puts the cups by the plates. She calls dinner time. The student or instructor presses the red stop button to stop recording. Within the story, the words containing the target sound will be highlighted as a visual cue. A quick note, if the student chooses not to record the presented story, he or she can select the Next Story button to continue the activity. The student selects the Next Story button at the top of the screen. After the first story, a prompt appears asking if the student wants to perform a self-assessment. If No is selected, the screen changes to the next story. The student can continue to practice, record, and play back the story. If Yes is selected, the student can play back his or her production of the sounds by pressing the blue play button. Kate got a new dollhouse. It looks like a castle. She likes to set the king in the chair. The cat naps on the bed. Kate can set the table. She puts corn and carrots on the plates. Kate puts the cups by the plates. She calls dinner time. The student can judge whether his or her own sounds are correct or not and mark the check or X button located next to the target words accordingly. At the bottom of the screen, a counter shows how many stories have been completed of the total stories available. During the activity, any story may be skipped by simply swiping from right to left, just like turning a page in a book. At any point during the activity, the instructor can end the session and review recorded sentences by selecting the Review button at the top right corner. As a note, the session can be reviewed at a later time or date. At the completion of one story, a prompt appears asking if the student will continue or if the instructor will review the session. If Continue is selected, the student can practice additional stories. If Review is selected, the instructor will play back the student's stories. Kate got a new dollhouse. It looks like a castle. She likes to set the king in the chair. The cat naps on the bed. Kate can set the table. She puts corn and carrots on the plates. Kate puts the cups by the plates. She calls dinner time. The instructor will then mark the check or X button located next to the target word to score sounds as correct or incorrect. At the end of the review, a prompt will state that all activities have been reviewed. The instructor can end the session by selecting Done. If Show Chart is selected, a bar graph appears with the student's assessment scores and instructor's assessment scores for a visual comparison to encourage accuracy when the student self-monitors.